All right, guys, we'll kick it off and everybody else can pop on. I'm super pumped for this call. You guys may know a little bit about Rob, but the way that we are kind of connected is we were both in the Shift Shop test group, and he doesn't know, but I've been following him and his wife Chelsea for like since I started coaching. I mean, she made this video of paying off her debt way back when I first started coaching, and it put the vision in my head that this was real. But seeing Rob in the Shift Shop test group was like, holy moly, they are a team of just rock stars. I'm not going to go through like his accolades or anything because I just want him to kind of speak from his heart. I guess a few things that I love that he shared in our group is that he met his wife in a turbo instructor training, which I think is super cool. I'm like, oh, there's hope for me, right? But he's also lost a ton of weight and had an amazing transformation with Beachbody. And I love his heart and soul with this company. And I just had to get him on our team call because I think it's the perfect timing going into the fourth quarter, feeling that seasonal depression coming in and getting back to the why of why you started this and how important every single one of you sharing your message every day is so vital to ending the year strong. So Rob, take it away, and we're so happy to have you here.
Thank you, Danielle. It's really cool. I just, first and foremost, the first thing I say anytime that I get to speak on a call is how grateful I am to be able to be here, how grateful I am that I get to share a little bit about what I've gone through and hopefully instill some ideas, some concepts into you guys. And my goal is for you to take away at least one thing that you can apply. I'm always the type of person where, like, when I do personal development, I will read a book slower than anyone else because I'm always looking to take action on what I'm learning. So I hope that I can give you at least one thing that you can take and put into action tonight. You're here, guys. Our business is social media. So, like, if you haven't shared that you're on this call working your business on your social media now, take a screenshot and post it now. I'm going to talk a little bit that you won't have to take notes. I'm going to share a little bit about my story. So do that now. Make sure that people know that you're showing up because, as Danielle said, there are people that are watching you that may just see something that you share and you have no idea, but it may have an impact on them. So always do that. Danielle, thank you for asking me to share. This is something that I really love to do. My goal is just to help as many people as I can. And with 200 million people facing obesity in this country, I cannot reach them all. So I hope that the 8 of you and then whoever else watches the recording will be able to help some of the people who I can't. I also ask that if something really hits home with you guys, or something that I say, or just something shifts in your head, share it with your team. There are people who I'm sure who are on your team who aren't on this call. And I think when you share stuff that people miss, the FOMO happens. It's like, okay, I need to get on that call. And essentially what I just want to do, I like to set expectations before I do a call because conflict arises when expectations don't meet reality. And I want to make sure that you know what I'm going to be talking about so you can kind of follow along with me. So tonight I'm going to talk a little bit about my story. Danielle shared a couple of tidbits with it. I'm going to talk about the vital process. And before you roll your eyes about the vital process, I rolled my eyes when I first heard it because I was like, oh, here's another thing that corporate's coming out with. But I've kind of edited it. And it's really fun for me the way that I've kind of shifted my mindset around it. I'm going to talk about the Power of Success Club 2 because I think that's really powerful. And I'm going to talk about keeping the main thing the main thing. And if you don't know what that means, then you'll know when we start talking about it. So a little bit about my story. Way back when, how long ago was it now? About 6 years. I was 330 pounds. I'm 6'7", so like I wasn't 5'6", 330 pounds, but I was about between 38 and 40% body fat, which is very obese for a male. And I worked in a call center. What I like to tell people is I ate for sport. So first of all, if you've ever worked in a call center, like every corner that you turn, there's like pizza or donuts or muffins or cake or something. So that was just like my environment on a daily basis. And my friends and I ate for sport. And when I say we ate for sport, it's like we had this thing called the triple challenge, which is you would go to Wendy's and you would eat 3 triple cheeseburgers at Wendy's. And whoever finished last had to pay for everybody else's. So that was just like the lifestyle that I lived. And I had a family health history of obesity. Everyone in my family was at least what you would call 50 pounds overweight. My dad was about 100 pounds overweight. My mom was about 80. My sister's about 50 pounds overweight. And my brother was also 100 pounds overweight. So this is culture. This is when Carl talks about fighting the trend of obesity, like we were that family. We were that family that, you know, both of my parents worked multiple jobs so that they could afford white bread, hot dogs, and hamburgers, and that's what we ate. So they were doing the best that they could for us, but because we didn't know, we weren't educated, we ended up turning into the people that we were. So my dad got real sick, and my dad passed away 3.5 years ago, but my dad got real sick about 6 years ago, and he was in the hospital for open heart surgery. And I remember going in and seeing him at 56 years old, knowing that if I didn't make a change, then that was going to be me. Okay. And here's something that I want to talk to you guys about. Maybe you haven't had this moment. Okay. And if this is not your aha moment for you to change, you don't need that aha moment. There is a aha moment that you just have to, you may not have experienced it yet, you may have to create it. And I'm going to talk to you about that in a minute. But if you have that aha moment, you need that in front of your face every single day. I look at a picture of my dad every single day. And that's really hard because 3.5 years later, I still miss him like crazy. But like, he is the reason why I do this, because everyone either has a dad or has a mom or is a dad or is a mom. Okay. And each of those people are worth fighting for me. That's the way I look at it. That's what fuels me to do this. Okay. And if you don't have something like that yet, I beg of you, either find it or like I said, I'll share in a minute or two, or create it. Okay. So that was my aha moment. So I went home, and a friend of mine who was actually living in Vancouver, Washington, I was living in Rhode Island. She was living in Vancouver, Washington. So it's on the West Coast. Sends me a text message at like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. And I was up, because if you've ever lived that type of lifestyle, like you don't sleep, you eat and you watch TV, you play video games, and then you go back to work the next day. That's just like the lifestyle. And she knew what was going on. She knew what had happened with my dad. And she said, "Hey, I saw this crazy thing on TV. I bet you couldn't do that." And anyone who knows me knows, like, if you challenge me, nope, you are going to lose if you challenge me. So it was insanity. And I remember, this is my favorite part of my story, which is crazy because it's such a small detail. If you've ever done insanity, there's something called the FIT test. I'm talking about the original insanity, the 60-day insanity. There's something called the FIT test, and it's the very first day, and you're really only working out for 8 minutes. It's a 25-minute DVD. You're working out for 8 minutes because you're doing 8 moves, 1 minute apiece. Okay, there are breaks and stuff in between. That's why it's 25 minutes. But and there's a move called suicide jumps, which is like, it's not quite a burpee, but it's like the Shaun T version of a burpee. And I remember the very first time that I got to suicide jumps, in 1 minute, I was only able to do 3. I was able to do 3. And I think about that every single time, because when someone doesn't believe they can, when someone doesn't believe they can go through this, I always go back and say, man, if I can be where I am now, and I started off and in 60 seconds, I could only do 3 of those suicide jumps, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this if they make the decision to do it, if they're connected to the right people, and they have the support that they need. I didn't even have a coach. I was assigned, here's another lesson. I was assigned, because I bought through the infomercial, as a lead, and that coach never reached out to me. I never got an email, never got a phone call, never got anything. And I know who she is now, and I won't dare tell her, because 6 years later, that would be a real kick in the teeth, that I'm not up to bringing people down. It's not my thing. But anyway, so I started doing insanity. I completed the program. I lost 30 pounds the first round. 35 pounds the second round. And then I just started going crazy into Beachbody, any program that they had, whatever. And as Danielle had said, I got certified. It's so crazy how this happened. So this girl that I knew, her name was Shayna, and Shayna is actually Chelsea's upline coach. Shayna taught Turbo Kick, and she was also a master trainer, APD at the time, which is now what they call master trainers. And Shayna, I had seen Chelsea, this girl Chelsea, who was living in a different state, in a Facebook group, and I found out that she was going to the training. I'm like, I like that girl. I'm going to this training, whatever. So we met, we fell in love, and the rest is history. Well, the rest is not history. The rest is we have a whole life to build together. So we met there at the Turbo Kick instructor training, and it was awesome. And then we started dating. And I was at first just being supportive boyfriend. And I was like, yeah, like she had a goal to be an Emerald coach. And like, guys, this is so, coaching is so simple. Rank advancing is so simple. Building a business is so simple. Stop complicating it. So it's like her first goal was to become an Emerald coach. Okay. So I was like, cool. I drink Shakeology. I will sign up and I will save $30 on Shakeology every month. Awesome. Check. And then after that, she was like, well, my next goal is Diamond. So what I need is an Emerald coach. So I said, okay, cool. Like I said, my mom was 80 pounds overweight and she was always health conscious, but she's a nurse. She works 70 to 80-hour weeks. She needs something that she can have on the go. So it's like, she'll do that easy. And then the guy that I was living with at the time, his name is Steve. I call him Sprout. I'm sick. Like I said before, I'm 6'7". He's 5'5". So it was really funny. I called him Sprout. He didn't call me any names because I beat him up. But he was a retired Coast Guard. So I said, hey man, like, will you do this with me? Will you try this with me? This insanity thing works. It changed my life. The Shakeology is really good. It changed my life. And at this point in time, I'm not in for Beachbody. I'm in for Chelsea. Okay. And this is what I talked about, creating that aha moment. Okay. So Steve committed to 60 days drinking Shakeology every day, and I was there with him. So we, if he was sleeping, I would pull him out of bed and we would do insanity. And if the end of the day came and he was trying to go to bed without drinking Shakeology, I would make him drink his Shakeology. So after 60 days, he was on cholesterol medication, and this crazy statistic, and it may have changed, but in 2015, I don't know about 2016 or 17, but 95% of prescriptions that were written in the US were for medications that people were supposed to take the rest of their life. So it's diabetes medicine, cholesterol medicine, blood pressure medicine. 95% of prescriptions that were written were for basically Band-Aids for health and wellness. Okay. So Steve was on cholesterol medication, and he was supposed to take it the rest of his life. After 60 days of insanity and drinking Shakeology every day, he went for his annual physical and the doctor took him off the meds. Okay. That was the aha moment that I created. That was the moment that I realized I was on this earth to serve other people and to help people reclaim their health. Okay. So again, if you haven't had an aha moment because something bad happened to you, you can create an aha moment by achieving something. Maybe it's yourself. Maybe you and yourself are not happy with where you are, and maybe your aha moment needs to be proving that you can lead other people, that you can get results with this. Okay, I'm going to talk a lot about results tonight because for me, it's everything. For like, if we're not selling results, if we're not creating results, then Chelsea worked in operations for Avon. We might as well be selling lipstick. If we're not in this for results, we might as well be selling soap. Okay. So if you're not there, I want you to shift your mindset. I'm going to kind of talk you through why that makes sense to me. So this is my story, and I think it's important that you create yours. So you may have your story. You may be able to share it the way that I just shared it. You may not have your story yet. And if you're still working on it, that's okay. I'm still working. Like, my story is getting better every day because I'm working at it. Okay. And I challenge you to do the same thing. So the next thing I want to talk about is the vital process. Please stay with me. You will love, after I talk about this, you will love and laugh about the vital process and you'd be like, yes, that's so good. Okay. So this is the key. I truly, sincerely believe this is the key to making a huge, massive, ridiculous, life-changing business that you can pass on for generations. Did you guys know that like business centers are willable? So like you can give your business center to your kids and to their kids. It's amazing. It's nuts because I think about like a company like Amway that's been around for 150 years. Half the people who are in that company are people who inherited it and don't know what to do with all the money they make because of their relatives who worked so hard. And we can create that. We're at a point right now where we can create that. And I just think that's so amazing. But this is the vital process in my words. Now, if you go to Google and you type in Beachbody vital process, you can pull up the corporate document. It's not going to be the same words, but if you stick with me, you'll be like, okay, that's kind of the same thing. And I think it's going to make sense for you. Okay. I have to say this before I say it. Shalene Johnson says, smart people take notes. So please take notes. You will forget this. The dumbest thing that you can do is think that you're going to remember what I'm saying right now. So please, if nothing else, take notes on this because you can always go back to this. Okay. Step one, it's four steps. 4 steps. Okay. 1, get results. If you're not getting results with this program, then you're a salesperson. You don't believe in this. And the other thing is like, give 100%. Like, and if you're convicted and you don't feel good about your results, like even though Monday is 4 days from now, like tomorrow, like commit to the 3-day refresh, to the 21 day, whatever it is that you can wrap your mind around saying, I can do this and I can go 100%. The reason why is because you are your best challenger. And if you only give 80%, your challengers are going to give 50%. No one's going to want to work with you because no one's getting results. And I don't say that to bring anyone down. I say that so that you can lift yourself up. You deserve perfect results. You deserve to see what this program can do, whatever the program it is that you're doing. We know that Shift Shop works. This is the thing that's so crazy about test groups. I love it because I get connected with other coaches, but like every program has had a test group. Every program has launched with a test group, and nothing is different than the programs are now. So like if you weren't in the Shift Shop test group, like you can do it the same exact way that we did it starting tomorrow. You can get those same results. You can probably get better results because we didn't know what we were doing as it was going on. We were like sitting, hanging on a thread. Chris tries to tell us to eat all the junk we want one day just to throw us off our game, right? And so and you can do this. You can do it for 21 days. Again, or if you don't believe you can do it for 21 days yet, do the 3-day refresh and prove to yourself that you can complete something. But that's where it has to begin, because when you get results, you will create trust in our programs. Okay? You will create belief in yourself and what you are capable of. And by a quick show of hands, do I sound like I'm passionate about what I'm talking about? Do I sound passionate? Yeah. So that's the other thing, is you will create passion, and people are attracted to passion. Because if I was sitting here and I was talking to you like this, you guys would be like, I don't want to listen to what this guy has to say. And people who are in your life perceive it the same exact way. They want what we have because we're excited about what we have. Okay. So again, step 1, get results. Create trust, belief, and passion. Okay? So that's step 1. Step 2, help others get results. You guys with me? So if it's a challenge, however you coach people, like if you can't get anyone to do it and you have to do the thing where you grab your next door neighbor and you say, hey, we're doing this together. I'm going to wake you up if you're sleeping. I'm going to make sure you drink your Shakeology every flipping day. If it has to start there, if you can't find anybody yet, which is crazy because for every Beachbody coach that's pursuing their business, there are 6,834 people in the US for each coach that's there. So don't tell me that you can't find people. I've done the math. Thank you very much. Melanie Mitro hasn't gotten all of them yet, so It's fine. You can find your people. She's robotic, but she's not a robot. She can't get them all. Um, I love her. She's incredible. I want to be like her someday. So you help others get results. So it may be in a challenge group, it may be a one-on-one thing, whatever it is, but you have to start with helping someone else get results. Okay? Because what that's going to do is that's going to create others people trust in you. They are going to say, hey, this person can help me. They've proven it by helping this other person. Okay. So I just went through this with my neighbor, Jim. Okay. We moved in May. In June, he's like, cool, I'll do it. We did 3 months of Body Beast. He lost 35 pounds, 4 inches off his waist. Absolutely incredible. He's got bad knees because he's 50 years old. And we made it through because everything's low impact there. We had to kind of makeshift it on the beast cardio. But like, you can do that with anyone. And what that creates is trust in your ability, belief in what you can do and how you can help other people, and once again, passion. Because what's going to happen when you go from changing your life to changing someone else's life, you're going to have that moment I had with Sprout. You're going to have that moment where you say, oh my gosh, I can actually do this. I can actually make a difference. This isn't just about challenge packs. This isn't just about rank. This is about actually impacting people. Because the people who get results end up being the best coaches because it's natural, because they can follow the same exact process. Okay, so step 2, I'm going to go through it again. Help others get results. Create trust, belief, and passion. Okay, and I lied. There are only 3 steps. I said there were 4, but there were only 3. Oh man, over delivering. The 3rd step is help others help others. And the cool thing is once you've done step 1 and step 2, all you have to do is keep doing that over and over. And then you say, hey, just do this with me. Hey, who in your life is a neighbor of yours who would want to do this? Or co-run my challenge group with me. And then it's the constant pursuit of better results and the constant pursuit of changing and growing. And that's how you do this. It's 1, 2, 1, 2. And that all turns into helping others help others just by modeling it over and over. Where we get lost is we look at social media branding. And I'm not going to say it's not important because it is, but social media branding is not going to make your business happen. You know, you can do all the trainings in the world and they're going to help, but it's the actual execution of getting results and helping people get results. And I'll tell you, you know, I'm sure that Danielle will agree, but the best my business ever is when I'm on my game, when I am getting results. And you don't have to be in a test group. You make your test group. You get to do that every single day, because guess what? The 200 million people who are overweight or obese, they don't know what Shift Shop is. They don't know what Beachbody is. And I know that because of the way social media works, all the people who are coaches end up in our feed. So we feel suffocated by everyone. And we feel like everyone knows Beachbody. 2 out of 3 people don't. So as you walk, I challenge you to do this tomorrow. As you walk through your day, count how many people you see and then do the math. 2 out of 3 of them don't know what Beachbody is. And I think that will open up your eyes so much. I'm a math person, if you guys didn't know. That will open up your eyes, because you'll be like, wow, I've been sitting here struggling, not knowing who to talk to, when 2 out of 3 people in my life have no idea what I even do, or have no idea what this company even is. It's such an amazing opportunity. And so here's the other thing, and this is why I thought it was 4, but it's only 3. This is a really important note, and this is a quote that I stole from Craig Collier. And I always give him credit because he said it to me, but I don't think he remembered saying it to me. And then he heard me say it once, and he's like, wow, that's so awesome. Like, can I use that? I was like, are you kidding me? You told me that. And he's like, no, I didn't. So I always give him credit, and we'll always argue back and forth. But, you know, we have the vital behaviors. The best way to get better at inviting is by getting better results. It's the truth. and you don't like, I'm not talking about being the best physical specimen, because I'm not, but like, it's the transformation. Like, it's consistently getting better results, and the better results you get, the better your transformation is going to look. And the fact that you're continuing to pursue it is going to look even better. So if you struggle with inviting, get better at getting results. Get better at helping people get results. It all ties in together. And that's why, for me, it always comes back to results. And that's why it's so important to keep, I said this at the beginning, keep the main thing the main thing. This company, when it first started out, was called $1 Million Body, because that's what they were pursuing. Okay. And the mission statement of this company is to help people achieve their goals and enjoy a healthy, more fulfilling life. That's the main thing. It's not help people get to 5-star diamond and get a quarterly bonus, even though that's amazing. It's not become a superstar diamond coach and get a helicopter ride out in California. Those things are really cool, but I guarantee you the people who got there by keeping the main thing the main thing. And we see everything else that they've created, and they're all really cool things, but it all started and stayed with health and fitness as the foundation. Okay, so 828. I'm going to go through one other thing that I really want to share, just because I like talking about leadership ladder. I feel like I like talking about things that people think are boring, because I think they're cool when I look at them from a different perspective. So I want to talk about what I call the Power of Success Club 2. Okay, so if you don't know anything about the leadership ladder, you can FAQ it or Google it. I like to say hashtag fact that, because it's cheeky and it's about as close to swearing as I get. But you can FAQ the actual leadership ladder if you want to understand it. But when I talk about the Power of Success Club 2, I like to think about the ripple effect. Okay, because I think, again, about the person who didn't reach out to me and the potential that I had to impact people. Chelsea and our organization is going to officially reach 8,000 coaches this week. I think we're about 9 people away, and we're usually recruiting. Our organization recruits somewhere between 15 and 20 per day on average, which is so amazing to me. Like, again, I'm just trying to illustrate what ripples affect. We don't sign up that many coaches a day or a week or a month. We're like 3 to 5. But the ripple effect, the analogy that I like with this, okay, is I say, are you just chucking stones at the water, hoping that they're going to hit something? Or are you throwing your rocks intentionally so that the ripples will become waves? Because if you think about it, like, if you just randomly throwing stuff, I think that's the other analogy people use, throwing mud against the wall, right? Hoping something's going to stick. If you can get real intentional, I actually read this book by Brian Tracy earlier today. I can't believe I read a book in a day. That's so unlike me. But this book is like short and really easy to read. He talks about, it's called Bullseye. He talks about throwing darts. It's like the typical place where most people throw darts is like in a dark room, late at night, with a couple beers in their hand, and they're just like, good luck, right? So if you're throwing darts like that, if you're treating your business this way, and you're just like kind of putting yourself out there hoping something's going to hit, you're not going to see success. But if you wake up, mentally get yourself ready, go to a well-lit room, and you are focused, you're going to have a lot better success, and your odds of hitting those bullseyes, which end up being your best coaches, is so much more likely than you were in the circumstance before. So what happens in this business is we see this body of water. This is where the rocks and the ripple effect came in. Sorry for kind of diverting for the bullseye thing. But what happens is when we enter this, and I think everyone has said this at some point in time, usually at the beginning, everyone says, I just want to help one person, right? I think at some point we all have that feeling when we take the leap into coaching. We say, man, I just want to help one person. And then we lose that, right? Because we see this huge pond, we see all these things that are available, and we lose sight of why we started doing this, okay? So why not just simplify it and go back to every single day saying, okay, I'm going to help one person. And you have to model this for your coaches. And this is the brilliant reason why. Leadership Ladder rewards Success Club 2. And I know that like Success Club 5 is an awesome goal and Success Club 10 is an awesome goal. But if you have someone who comes in and, maybe they've been sitting around idle or they've struggled or they wanted to focus on their fitness first, and you're saying, okay, well, Success Club 10 should be your goal. Well, I'm at Success Club 0. I've always been at Success Club 0. I don't know how to do this. Start with Success Club 2, because the truth of the matter is you're not going to get to 10 until you get to 2 first. Okay. And if you can create, and if you can recognize, and if you can focus on 2 and then 2, if you can do 2, you can do 4. And if you can do 4, then you can do 6. If you can do 6, then you can do 10, and on and on and on and on and on. But like, I feel so many people overwhelm people because the focus gets on driving business. The focus gets taken away from results. And I think that's the thing, is every single day trying to find one more person that you can help, one more person that you can help get results, one more person who, once they get results, you can help them help others. Okay. All comes back to the vital process. So, that is the power of Success Club 2, because that one person who you bring in or don't bring in, I think this is another thing people do. Have you ever gotten to your Success Club goal before the month ends and then you go like this? Right? Think about the people. Think about the me. I think I'm a pretty great coach. There are me's that are all over the place just waiting for this opportunity. And maybe that day when you exhale because you didn't hit Success Club is the day that you would have talked to that person, right? So understand the power of those 2 points. And an organization of 8,000 people happens one person at a time, just like everything else. And that's why I think, like, as cool as Success Club recognition is, I think we as a company, as an organization, need to do a lot better at not validating, but celebrating Success Club 2. Because that is big. That is a life changed. And I don't know, again, I don't know how you guys do your recognition, but I think that's just something that's really on my heart, because a lot of people don't feel like what they do is good enough. And I'm telling you, if you're helping people, then it's good enough. That's what we're here for. Danielle, I have one other math thing that I kind of want to share, just because I feel like it's something that I got from Summit. That's the other funny thing too, guys. Like, if you go to Summit, like, you will get the best insight and advice that you ever can. I'm like plugging Summit, but I've been to everyone since we became a coach. And I think it was like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we were opening a box because we moved here. I say we just moved back in May, but we're still getting through boxes because we're super busy. But Chelsea found our notebooks from Summit in 2012. And guess what? All the information is still completely accurate. And all we need to do is follow that stuff, but we don't execute on it, right? So again, I just want to share the snippet because I want to honor you guys and give you something that really convicted me, because we don't spend enough time inviting. And that's the only way you're going to grow your business is, like I said, I mean, even if you get results, if you don't invite anybody, then you can't help anybody. So the recommendation, this came from Melissa McAllister, who is like incredible. I can't say enough great things about her. But so if you are anywhere between a coach, like active coach, and 1-star diamond, you should be spending 90% of your time inviting. Okay. That means if you're the type of person who works on their business an hour a day, you do your power hour, 54 minutes of that hour should be inviting. Does anybody else say, man, I'm not spending enough time inviting? Now that doesn't mean like join my challenge group, but like having conversations with people and directing those conversations towards what will become an invite. You should be spending 54 minutes out of every hour on that. Chelsea and I were so convicted. We're like, we're not spending enough time. So if you are 2-star to 4-star diamond, you should be spending 80% of your work time inviting. So that's 48 minutes out of an hour. And if you're 5-star and above, you should be spending 70% of your time inviting, which is 42 minutes out of the hour. So we thought about that, and it's like, man, what if before we could do anything else, we spent 42 minutes of our hour inviting? And you know what would happen? We would recruit so many more coaches. We would help so many more challengers, because the programs are there and they work. And we have a challenge group that we run every month, and it works when people show up. But that's it. So I just wanted to share that math with you because it like exploded my brain. And I like to kind of convict people, because I know for me, inviting is the hardest thing. You wouldn't know it because you see me in here, but I'm such an introvert. I have such a hard time talking to people. But in order to be successful, I'm going to listen to what the successful people say. And the reason why she's been top 10, 5 out of the last 6 years, which is incredible streak. And she's always somewhere between 7 and 9. So people don't know, she's not in the top 3. She's not like almost there. But like to be number 7 in the network out of 400,000 coaches is ridiculous. And to do that 5 out of the last 6 years, she's doing something right. And it's spending a ton of time talking to people and inviting. So that's what I have. I'm happy to answer any questions if people have them. But that's what I got.
Man, love hearing you. Guys, if you want to type your questions in the chat or unmute yourself, whatever you feel comfortable doing, we'd love for you guys to ask the questions, because you get Rob firsthand.
Oh my gosh. Before anybody asks a question, so the Pokemon thing, I don't know if you know this from when, like maybe when you started following me or whatever, but so obsessed with Pokemon. And I had this moment like when I was an early coach, and I was like, being a Beachbody coach is a lot like being a Pokemon trainer, because like you find these people, right? And like you train them, and then you fight together, and then they evolve. So like I'm just looking for all the Charizards I can find. That's it. That's what I'm working towards. Find my little Charmanders and help them evolve into Charizards, and then on their way.
Keep it simple, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Anybody got any burning questions, guys?
I have a question. Rob, this was awesome. Super helpful. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
So obviously you're a boy.
Mm-hmm.
How have you, is there anything special or different that you do to try and attract the opposite sex in coaching? Our team is primarily women, and I think that's really an untapped market for us.
Sure.
And that's, I mean, I work with majority men, and so that's kind of how my network is, and but it's something that I'm not comfortable tapping into yet.
Cool. So what I would say, this is actually a perfect question because it goes in line with exactly what I was talking about earlier. My challenge to you would be to find one guy who you're comfortable enough with and work with them and get results, and be like, hey guys, every guy in your life, like, this is my guy, this is what he did. Like I think that's the thing, is guys are a lot more direct. The thing that's really beautiful about women is you have this community, and it's something that you guys, I don't mean for that to sound condescending, because it's not condescending. I think it's beautiful. But women in general, when I say you guys, the thing about you guys is that's good. That's good enough. The community is good enough. And it's a lot more feely in general. Guys want results, period. And there are some guys that want that community feel too, but if you can prove to a guy that you can help them get results, they are sold without question. And then that's the other thing, is in coaching them, I do. So I work with both men and women. I approach men a little bit differently, because I'm a lot more direct, because I know that most people, if a guy commits to this, he doesn't want me to coddle him. He wants me to give him direct answers. He wants me to give him resources he can look up on his own, and that's it. So I think if you take that approach, again, of finding one person who you can work with, and then just being super direct with people in general. You'll get good results with that. Cool.
What else you guys got? I have some questions lined up if nobody. All right, so if you are feeling stuck in your coaching journey, what would you suggest to find that joy again?
So for me, it's always going back to fitness. I feel like that has to be the center. You are always feeling better. You will never feel stuck if you yourself are progressing. And I think that's the other thing is sometimes like, well, if I start focusing more on myself, aren't my challengers and my team going to fall behind? No, because what they're going to do is they're going to see you taking care of themselves and they're going to be like, oh, I should do that. So for me, it's always, and like, that's the other thing. Sometimes people commit to a program and they don't like it. So if that's where you are and that's why you're feeling stuck, then stop doing that program and go back to the program that you love doing. I think that's the thing is for me, that's the catalyst. It's always about results because like we talked about a little bit earlier, the better I feel, the better results I'm getting, the easier it's going to be for me to talk to people about what I'm doing. And like, I'm kind of crazy. I'm up at 5 a.m. usually actually 4:45 because Jim works a 9 to 5 and he's got an hour commute. So we're up doing Body Beast that early, 5 o'clock every morning. And then I'm up late doing phone calls. And I find the things that fuel me, and it always starts with workouts.
Love that. What else you guys got? All right, what's been your biggest failure in this business?
This is a really hard one for me, and like it may sound kind of lame. So, and you can tell like this really sticks in my brain. So the month that Chelsea and I got married, so that was December in 2013. It's the same month that my dad passed away, and I didn't hit Success Club that month. And it's not because we got married. It's not because my dad passed away. It's because 2 nights before my wedding, I didn't follow up with someone who was waiting for me to follow up. They ended up signing up on their own on the 1st, and I missed Success Club because of not following up. And it was, so that's the other thing. It wasn't me being distracted because my dad had passed away, because he passed away on the 9th, and we got married on the 31st. It wasn't me being preoccupied with the wedding. It was just me being like timid to follow up with this person because so this is the point that I want to get to. So following up is so important, and that person I was intimidated by. Like, have you ever tried to recruit someone, or have you ever tried to invite someone who's more physically fit than you, or like is a competitor or something like that? So for me, I was afraid to follow up with this girl because I was like, oh, she's super ripped. Like, I don't know if she really wants to do this, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that was it. So I missed Success Club because I was afraid. And so I won't anymore. And I think that's the thing. Every time there's a failure, you have to learn from it. That's how you get better. And Chelsea and I always say the reason why we've had so much success is because we failed so much, but we don't give up. Like, I can't go into detail about what the last 9 months have looked like. Like, we have had such a painful time with stuff going on. I mean, I'm sure you guys are all aware of people going to MLM. We had 2 coaches in our organization who were elite coaches that left to go to other MLMs because they're out of their freaking mind. One of them actually has been trying to get back in a spot here, and they can't. But again, I'm not here to throw shade at anybody, but we've gone through so much, and there has been so much that we've learned. There's been so much pain that we've gone through, but the more that you can just embrace that pain and say, okay, this is what I learned from that, and I'm not going to make that mistake again. And now it's like, I see someone who's fitter than me, and it's like, I want that person on my team. I want that person on my team. Like, and that's the thing that's cool is because in my world, I have this vision Okay. And I want the people who are 100+ pounds overweight on my team. And I want the people who are single digit body fat on my team. And I want all of us to just love doing fitness together. I feel like that, and that doesn't have to be your vision, but for me it is, because like we're all working towards something together. And I don't think that there's anything in this world like this company that gives you the opportunity for people from those two dichotomies to be working towards something together. Sorry, that was long-winded.
No, I love, but do you guys see like everything for him goes back to his own journey?
Yeah, always.
You know,
Always.
like I could probably ask him any question and he'll probably take it back there.
Yep. Because you have to speak from what you know, and I think that's why that's the difference between people who are passionate about what they do and what they're not. Like you have to speak from what you know, and if you're here, you're here on this call. You believe in this. You believe in yourself at least a little bit. So always bring it back to your experience, and like we're all on a journey. I don't know if you got. I'll recommend this too. I'll recommend a book because I feel like I'm supposed to. Not supposed to, but I want to honor you guys with that gift. This book's called The Dream Giver. It's by Bruce Wilkinson. Absolutely changed my life. So we send, every time we sign a coach, we send them this book. We bought like after we read this book, we bought like everyone that they had in stock. But that was a while ago, so I'm sure that they're restocked. But the first, I'll warn you guys, the first chapter, like the phrasing seems kind of weird, but like after that, it's amazing. It's just like, it's a different style of writing. But it absolutely changed my perspective with anything. And everything happens so on purpose. We're all at different points in our journeys. And I think that's a gift that you can give to yourself, to instill belief in yourself, because there are people, every person on this call is different. Like I said at the beginning, like I can't reach everyone. There are people who are designed and destined just for you. I don't know if you guys know who Caleb Thomas is, but he has this amazing video about puzzle pieces. And you should watch that if you can. But if you think about Beachbody coaching as like this huge puzzle, you on your edges, the person who you are, only one piece fits that edge. So there are people that are specifically created and crafted, and their story was designed exactly for you to bring them into this. And you are the only way that they'll find their way into this. And I think that's why I always try to, again, draw it back to my personal experience.
Man, mic drop. Well, I had one last question.
Cool.
What's your favorite program?
This is tough. Okay, so my favorite to do, so the thing is, Insanity obviously has a really special place in my heart, but I'm 33 years old and I'm 6'7", and it's really hard on my knees. So I don't do Insanity anymore. And like, I recommend Insanity to the people who Insanity is for. So that program has my heart. This is going to sound crazy. So 3 out of the 5 hard labor workouts were the best workouts that I ever did. So the chest and back workout, amazing. Total body core, amazing. And the arm day, amazing. Those 3 workouts are freaking phenomenal. And it's exciting to know that their Beachbody is going to be doing stuff like this even more often, because I can't wait to see what Tony's going to pull out. I can't wait. Like Sean Week was really cool. I'm excited for it to go that way. And I have to say, I'm doing this. I'm currently testing out 80-day obsession, and so I'll give you. Not, I can't give you the scoop. This program is not for beginners. It's very difficult. It is kicking my butt, and it's hard for a program to do that. So I'm kind of in love with it right now. But we also have, we have a love-hate relationship. So I would say it's definitely something worth getting excited about. I don't know if I answered the question or not, but That's it.
I think that's kind of a trick too, because like you guys know, you can't just keep doing the same 21-day fix, right? You gotta try them all, get in all access. That's the beauty of it, and find your joy.
Yeah. Well, no, I think that's the cool thing too, is like, I could list things that I love about every program. And, I think it's a really beautiful thing that we have. I have one of those new Apple TVs, and it's like, it's so worth it. Being able to have Beachbody on demand there, it's just like, it's so beautiful. When I get up with Jim, I'm just like, it's amazing.
Well, thank you, Rob. We appreciate it so much. I'm sure either I'll be up in Charlotte, or you're always welcome to come to Atlanta.
Cool.
And I'll tell Chris hello for you next week. And have a great Super Saturday.
All right. You too. Take care, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.